Okay, hello everyone, my name is Laquan Williams, and in this video subject matter, and the topic I wanted to discuss was the DC Legends of Tomorrow Season 6, Episode 5 review. The episode just came out today on Sunday, June 6th, or the 6th of June, 2021. So basically, continuing on where the rest of the 5 episodes previously for the season has left off, the Legends of Tomorrow is still trying to figure out where Sarah Lance is, as she's still trapped in space with aliens, obviously being held captured, or captive, and she obviously was captured by aliens, and they're trying to figure out a way to still get her back. In this episode, the main focus of it was the solo episode of Ezra, and they're basically showing, obviously, here she is right here, basically showing how she's dealing with her normal life now that she's no longer the queen and the ruler of hell. Obviously, now that she's out, she has no powers. She's been out for about 6 months now in the storyline, and she's obviously been adjusting to the new civilian life, obviously, here on Earth, because she hasn't been on Earth for a while, ever since, obviously, she was a little girl. Before then, obviously, she was trapped in hell for a while, obviously, with her soul by a demon, obviously, that John Constantine failed to obviously defeat, and he took her to hell. So that's what happened. Obviously, unfortunately, that's what happened. So she was there for a while. So in this episode, the spirit and obviously the I guess you can say the personality and embodiment of Aleister Crowley was used to help her. He was basically he's trapped obviously in a painting by John Constantine, who freed him from hell in order to gain some of his magical secrets, and obviously trick him into thinking he wanted to let him free, but he trapped him in a painting. So Ezra found out about this and found him, and he tricked her obviously to helping him escape from the painting and to joining into jumping into a body to host, to take over and control, like a spirit or a demon possession or a ghost, obviously. And obviously he can do that because he has obviously magical powers. This guy obviously is real. I mean, him on the show obviously is not real, but the guy who was, like I said, mentioned, Aleister Crowley, he was real, and on a real scary, evil guy, obviously. So basically, he tricked Ezra into helping him escape, and he took over actually John Constantine's body right here, and she allowed it to happen, Ezra, because she wanted to learn magic so she can have money to pay the bills in the house, bring food into the house, obviously have fancy clothes and diamonds and stuff she couldn't get on her own because she had no money and she had no powers to get it. So she had to learn from Crowley, and she didn't want to hear John Constantine's continued excuses and him brushing her off to go on dates with Zuri and obviously spend time with the rest of the team of the Legends. They actually came on in this episode, all of them, and except Sarah Lance, because she's obviously in space still, but they ended up back at John Constantine's house, and she didn't want to answer any of their questions, so she turned all of them into objects, and this basic household objects like a fork, a candle, and a cheese grate, a cube. Anyways, like it turned into basically an episode of Disney. So if you look, a Disney movie. So if you look right here, obviously, it has the everything that explains what happened. Obviously, it's on comicbookresources.com. It says Legends of Tomorrow, Astra breaks down the team's first animated adventure. So basically, obviously, they turned this episode into an animated, like, Disney Princess and the Frog, or kind of like a ordeal, or a Sleeping Beauty type of ordeal, where it was the actual obviously actors, but towards the end of the show it turned into an animated sing-along type of ordeal, obviously. And that's what was pretty interesting about this episode, how they can go from that to regular or just the regular live action characters as well, obviously, and the actors. That's basically obviously what happened, and we saw that take place. It was very interesting. This has been a continuing theme obviously for the past 6 episodes, and we learned now that this is 5 episodes, excuse me, episode 6 will be airing next week. We learned that the guy who's in charge of messing up everything and capturing Sarah Lance is a guy named Bishop. We don't know if he's an alien or not. All I know is that when you can see this episode, he's dancing, he's singing, he's like the funny, happy-go-lucky bad guy. It's really weird how they have it like that, but that's how this show is, obviously, with all the comedy and the animated stoner jokes and animated series, that the episodes they have on the show for specials and whatnot. So that's basically what's been happening. So for the past 5 episodes, going into 6 now, the general theme of the story of the plot for this season, for the first like 6 or 7 episodes, I think it's probably going to be 8 when they probably get Sarah Lance finally back. It's right now going episode 6. I say 8 is probably when they're going to get her back. general theme is that Sarah Lance is gone, and the mission is to get her back. And after that, they'll go back to the regular duties of saving the space timeline continuum, and obviously change in time to correct the wrongs that they've made, and obviously to stop any historical figures or bad guys, even demons, from messing up stuff obviously in the past, and trying to create their own future. That's basically what's been happening. Obviously, lots of actors on the show and characters have come and gone, like Hawkman and Hawkgirl, and we've also seen the departure of Firestorm, the Atom, also Nora Dark, and her dad, Damien Dark, are gone. Heatwave is about to be leaving, which is played by the actor Dominic Purcell, and obviously Captain Cold is gone too, who played his partner on the show, but on the TV show Prison Break, he played his brother, Michael Schofield. So it's those two guys again. They're great together, so it's crazy to see them working on as bad guys on the Flash and the DC Legends show, but obviously and joking around. But on this Prison Break, it's obviously a different story, obviously, but because they're brothers on that show. In this show, they're crime partners, and brothers in arms, basically. So that's basically what's been happening on the show. I thought it was very interesting, kind of weird, silly twist at the end with the type of cartoon animated Disney type of episode that it turned into towards the end with the singing and whatnot. I think it was cool. It was very interesting to finally see who obviously is going to be who's in charge of this whole thing. Apparently, this Bishop guy wanted to find the best test subjects and humans with special abilities and whatnot to change humanity, make it better. And in order for him to do that, he has to create aliens with human meta genes and whatnot. So that's basically what's been happening. It's kind of weird, but this week's episode was cool. I kind of liked it less than last week's, but we'll see what continues to happen as the show progresses. I think Bay of Pigs was actually Squids was actually much more interesting last week, where they had the real life spin, the comedic take on the Bay of Pigs incident, obviously with Fidel Castro and JFK, aka John F. Kennedy, our president in the 1960s, obviously. So that was real life. But they recreated it, obviously, but they put a twists on it, obviously, and obviously lots of comedy was involved around that. And that's basically what we saw. I think that episode was better than last week's. That episode was last week. So this week's episode, I would say probably like 6. Last week's The Bay of Squids, I would say I got a 7.5. It was a little bit better. This was still good though, but we're just seeing what happens. I understand that a lot of people obviously are looking at this with the ratings going down, obviously, and saying what's going on with the continued story of them having to find Sarah. I don't know how long they're going to do that for, but it looks like they're going to do it for a couple more episodes. We'll just see what happens. What other kind of random things they've thrown out, but the whole Gary is the alien thing was kind of random. We'll just see what happens, though. They haven't used the Ezra in actually a couple episodes. So now this is her solo episode where they obviously brought the team on, but it was the main focus on her dealing with her own life, obviously, because she didn't know any of these guys, obviously, from the past 6 months ago. During 6 months, obviously when she was in hell, ruling over hell as like the queen down there, basically. So now she's out on Earth back again. And this episode, which was called the Satanist Apprentice, is what it's obviously called, and obviously her being the apprentice of Aleister Crowley, and him helping her with dark magic, black magic, trying to get obviously jewels, riches, and obviously clothes and food and everything she wanted. And obviously she learned in the end that it didn't work out for her because she needed to use much more powerful, long-lasting magic, and that was more advanced than what she was obviously learning from him. She needed to learn more, but in order for that to happen, she would have to be taught by him a lot longer. In order for that to happen, he would have to stay in John Constantine's body probably for forever, even much longer. And obviously it's not a great thing. And John Constantine was trapped in the painting, but he put obviously Aleister Crowley in. They reversed the roles when Ezra used a spell that Crowley taught her to reverse situations and roles with people and objects. So that's what happened. And that's basically it. We'll see what happens. Obviously, continuing on with the rest of the show. If you have, let me. That's all I have to say about this. Obviously, but if you haven't been watching it, let me know if you what you think about it. Obviously, if you stopped watching the show a while ago, I know a lot of people have been getting sick and tired and the fatigue of the CW TV shows / networks Network comic book shows has not been fun because the Arrowverse is obviously going a different direction. It's changing now, and lots of shows are obviously gone and have been canceled, and we'll see what happens, obviously. But yeah, it's going to look very different another year with less shows being available. We'll see what happens. There will be upcoming, mini crossovers that will be happening towards the end of this year with the Flash and DC Legends of Tomorrow and Stargirl, as well as I would say probably Black Lightning as well. So we'll see what happens with that. Again, yeah, that's basically all I have to say about this. And let me know what you have to think about this in the comments section down below. And that's all I have to say about this again. Thank you again for watching. Bye. Thank you.